Hey everyone, what's going on? It's the Flying Pig here. Sorry about that, it's probably loud. With with the latest Manchester United news of the day. I hope you're all good today, guys. Same old shit, really. But we'll be getting into it, and there is a little bit to talk about in regards to new United news. I've got a bit of a Sean Dyche voice at the moment, folks, so forgive me. Hopefully we're not coming too gravelly, coming through too gravelly, I should say. But do us a favour at the start of the show, everyone. Twat that like button. Give it a thumbs up. That's right. Share it around on social media as well. And if you're new to this channel, please do hit the subscribe button and get involved with the legends in the chat. Hey there, everybody who's in here. Superstar, what's going on? Johnny M, STP Mitchell, Mikhail Kramer, Toby Curtis, Kieran Mallion, Amy Evans, how you doing there? Futinator, Mikhail Kramer, Sphinxu, Alec Williams, Ibsidat. Legends. Thank you very much, everyone, for getting in here for today's show. We've got a bit to get into, of course. Some new transfer news, other news related to United as well, which we're going to cover in this show. So strap yourselves in. It's not really going to be that interesting, though. Just letting you know why? Because United are just slow, aren't we? It's just terrible. It's just really slow at the moment, guys. We're looking to do some business, and it's just depressing. There's nothing done yet. We're still lagging behind, but hopefully very soon. That's the feeling, is that players like Jong, Eriksen, etc., these guys could be announced pretty soon. Within the next sort of few days. That's the sort of feeling, but whether or not that materializes is another thing. But we're going to get into it all now anyway with the updates. But to begin with, let's just talk about what day it is. Well, it's the day that a lot of these players have come back to Carrington, and of course Ten Hag and McLaren and these guys have started working. So we've got a picture here. Eric Ten Hag and Steve McLaren arriving at Carrington this morning, folks. Check it out. There it is. So they begin work properly now. The preseason essentially, or pre-preseason now is basically starting. These guys are going to begin assessments. They're going to obviously start having conversations. Maybe we'll start to see maybe one or two more players leaving Manchester United, because obviously now Ten Hag's going to be working closely with the players, and he'll find out and assess who he wants to keep and who he wants to get rid of over the next coming weeks, because he probably has sort of been resigned to the fact that he's going to have to assess a lot of the team as well. He's giving players chances, I think. Hey, 0793, what's going on, bro? Good to see you in here. Nikolai Lindquist, Brave786, Connor, everyone, thank you for getting in. Drop a thumbs up and have your say, guys. Fully interactive show. We always get in and out the chat throughout, so make sure you get involved. Alex says, why does Steve McLaren look beat up? I've not really noticed now you mention it, but maybe, yeah, I don't know, he's got a bit of a bruise on his face there. Not really too sure, but hopefully he's okay, But anyway, he's going to begin working with Ten Hag as well. Those guys have obviously been out. I'm sure they've all been working pretty frivolously or furiously, I should say, in the background already before even this sort of situation. But anyway, so the coaches, they're at it. We've also got the players arriving here, as you can see. We've got people like Phil Jones rocking up in his Bentley. You know what I mean? Phil No Bones Jones, the picture we all want to see, the player we all want to see back at training. Not. What is happening there, guys? Phil Jones, still a United player, but hey, there you go, rocking up in his Bentley, my son. That's how he rolls. David De Gea, Luke Shaw, Phil Jones, Brandon Williams, lots of other players, a bunch of other players pictured arriving at Carrington this morning as well. So players back at it. And also, how's about this guy as well, friends? Let's talk about this. Donny van der Beek. There he is. Donny is back. Here's a picture from him at Carrington earlier on, I believe. And it was posted just this afternoon from United District on Twitter there. And Donny van der Beek looks very, very happy, doesn't he? Looks very, very happy here, my friends. I don't know. Who knows? But he looks very, very happy. But a lot of these players are back at it and arriving. Of course, they've arrived at United. There's certain players, of course, that will get a little bit longer off and are still on holiday due to other sort of commitments and things like that as well. But look at this. Little bit of information on Alejandro Garnacho here. He would have been entitled to 3 weeks off after playing in the Toulon tournament for Argentina under 20s, but has returned to MUFC pre-season early. Get in there, Alejandro Garnacho. So just a youngster here, showing the right attitude, getting stuck in early doors as well, and maybe trying to get in there to try and give Ten Hag something to think about for the start of this season as well. I think he's an exciting player, guys. I mean, he is young. Maybe he can break through and be a sort of squad player for us this season under Ten Hag. I think Ten Hag may want to give some of these youngsters opportunities. Let's ask the chat. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you think that Alejandro Garnacho is ready to play some sort of a role in the first team squad this season. Let us know. Smash a 2 if you don't think he's ready. Maybe he should be loaned out, maybe, etc. Let me know. Let me know where you're at with Alejandro Garnacho. Kieran thinks so, and so does Akil MVP. I mean, he's got quality, doesn't he? You can see that early doors. You want to sort of try and bring the best out of him over the season and give him chances and just see where he could be from a progression point of view in 1 year's time if you actually do give him opportunities, because he does look a very good young talent. James thinks no. Lynette Giggs thinks yes, and Scott Corden and Liam H as well, and Johnny M and Genius Dominant and CZ Bam and Aidan Feeney. Hey, Berber, what's going on, mate? How you been, dude? I hope you're feeling a bit better, mate. Let's get some love hearts in there for Berber recovering from the COVID. That is absolutely guff, mate. I hope you're doing well. Dutch Christ says, one, Messi is impressed with Garnacho. Okay, then, well, let's just all pander to Messi then. No, fair enough. You're right. Yeah, he is. And to be fair, he is a very good young player who has a lot of skills, qualities, vision. Even just watching a couple of games, which is all I've really seen this season of him, he stole the show in all of those. So he's definitely a talented youngster, and I think United need to give him some chances. You could load him out, you could just keep him where he is, but really, with something like that, you want to just sort of drop him in, not at the deep end, but you want to try and bring him along a little bit quicker. See if he can progress, see if he can take those opportunities and do it in the first team. Yeah, that's right. Exactly, Akil MVP. I don't know why we didn't do that, really. Rangnick should have just played a lot more of the youngsters, I agree. He says, I was really hoping at the back end of last season some of these players would get a chance. Totally agree with that. We should have seen one or two more of them at the end, rather than just playing those useless toss pots who are getting hundreds of thousands a week who are playing rubbish anyway. We should have played a bunch of those kids at the end of the season. Okay. Yeah, well, James T says, no way he is in the starting 11 unless he earns it. I'm not suggesting that this guy would be in the starting 11. I'm just suggesting that sometimes, so for the lesser fixtures, you might want to pop Alejandro Garnacho in there, Europa League ties against some random farmer team, etc. Give him some games, give him some opportunities. Bring him on for the last 20 minutes against, whoever, when we're up 3 goals to 0. That sort of stuff. Give him game time, give him opportunities. Let's give him some encouragement. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Not just him. There's also other players at United, lots of good youngsters that we want to see more of as well. I think that, a lot of people would like to see a little bit more of, Mejbri. We talked about Jimmy Garner. There's a few players I think that could break into the fold. I think those few, may be the most realistic to be given opportunities to some. Of course, Elanga's still a youngster. What do you guys think? Who's your most exciting prospects that you would like to see given opportunities for Ten Hag's United this season? Let us know. Ten Hag likes Garnacho as well, says Dutch Christ. Oh no, Burberry says, good, thanks, mate. Just zero energy, a bit like that Mount Pogba. Oh no, dude. Well, he had the vid once as well, mate. Maybe he's just got like long COVID, and that explains why he's so shit. I never really thought about that. Nice one, Burber. Thank you very much. Oh man. Well, get some rest, man. Hope you feel better soon. Alex says, if Ten Hag can turn that Southampton and Everton melters Tadic and Klaassen into world-class players, then I'm very excited to see what he can do with our players. Good point, Alex. Now, if you actually look at the players we have now, they are, some of them, supposed to be good players. They don't seem like it, they don't act like it most of the time, but they're supposed to be good players. Even like Bruno Fernandes caught the disease of mediocrity at United this season just gone. Surely, with a bit of good coaching, you can get Bruno being an absolute fucking beast again. It wasn't long ago we were talking about this guy in the same breath, and rightly so for his statistics and goals, as somebody like Kevin De Bruyne. There was that, who's better, De Bruyne or Bruno argument going on for 18 months. It's only this last season where United have shit the bed and Bruno's been super inconsistent and struggled in a struggling team that we've changed our minds. But really, we know that he's got the qualities. He can still get back there with some great coaching. Same goes for people like Rashford, hopefully. Maybe mentality-wise, he's a bit Gashford because he seemed like he just wasn't putting in the effort towards the end of the season. But with some good coaching, again, with a new system, hopefully he can breathe a bit of life into some of these melters because they are good players. We know Rashford previously, before this season, was a good young prospect for us, playing really well, scoring goals, getting assists. Not really setting the world alight, but doing it to a good level for somebody who was that age. Last season, unfortunately, garbage. Hey there, old Dirty Benjo. He says, hey, Big Dyche, hope you and your gravel throat are good. Old Dirty Benjo, thank you so much for getting in here. So my name's Sean Dyche. I'm a Formula Burnley manager. And once again, I'd just like to say thank you so much for getting in here. To be fair, it's too sore to even do Dyche right now because you can't get that proper gravel in the voice. But no, it is bad at the moment, mate. I know. Amy Evans just pig Arsenal in for Martinez, and if they get him, Timber will not happen for us. They won't sell both, says Amy Evans. Great comment. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think Timber is realistic for us at the moment anyway. Maybe so. I mean, there's that whole Louis van Gaal getting in the ear of him and telling him that unless he's getting regular game time, he may well not feature in the World Cup squad. That's apparently what's happened. And I think you can see the basis for it as well, because if Jurrien Timber's not been given assurances by Ten Hag that he will play week to week or regularly, he probably is just better off for this season to stay there. At least he's going to get in the Qatar World Cup squad. I don't know. So from that point of view, look, we don't know if that's 100% true anyway. Is Louis Van? That's just speculative stories that have come out about Louis van Gaal advising Jurrien Timber not to go to United if he's not going to get the game time, because it may hinder his opportunities to get into the Netherlands squad. So we don't know if that's 100% happen anyway. And even if that is the case, like, surely if there's a proper offer that came in and the conversations were had and Ten Hag's there, he could probably convince Timber to come to United anyway. So I wouldn't say that deal's completely dead, but it doesn't seem very hot at the moment. That's all I'll say with that one. But yeah, good point. I mean, maybe Ajax won't sell it, but you know what? Ajax are a selling club, and I know what you're saying, they don't want to sell all their whole team off. I mean, there's even talks about Brighton, I think, looking at Tagliafico at the moment as well. You know, there's a lot of different clubs that are interested in their players, all of their players. So, hey, look, they don't want to sell all of them, but if the offer's good enough, if the price is right, they will sell all their players, and they will buy new players. They'll promote youth players. They'll buy new players. That's what they do, guys. They're a great club when it comes to having a turnaround of players. They buy players on the cheap, and they sell players for decent money. And that's just it. It's a merry-go-round at Ajax. They're used to it. So, okay, they're not going to want to sell their whole squad. Of course, I'm over-exaggerating there. But if the price is right, they will pretty much be able to sell. They'll pretty much sell anybody if the price is right. So, they want 50 million, says Amy Evans. Yeah. I mean, just in regards to the Sandro, seeing as you brought it up, just a bit of transfer news. Let's sort of get into the transfer news now then, folks, of which there isn't that much, just to let you know. But regardless, do us a favor, 139 of you legends that are in here, drop a like and share this around and subscribe. Let's get this to 100 likes. Also, get your thoughts, opinions in about who you think is going to be the first signing for Man United. Who do you think it will be? Eriksen, Jong, somebody else? Let me know in the live chat. Let us know your thoughts. But anyway, so in regards to Lissandro, just very quickly, so look at this. So Man United have not made an official offer for Lissandro Martinez. This has come out this afternoon. Yet, as the club want to sign Frankie de Jong first. This is just a source that's come out on Twitter. I mean, look, we know we haven't made any proper official bids for any of these players really, other than the initial sort of verbal offer, it seems, that was knocked back for Frankie de Jong from United to Barca. But other than that, it seems like we haven't really gone in for a proper negotiations or tabled an offer for anyone. We know Arsenal have tabled an offer for Lissandro Martinez, and we know that they've had that rejected, and we know that the Ajax are holding out for more money, and Arsenal are expected to be able to perhaps negotiate with a deal for him there with Ajax to get the guy in. At the moment, we haven't made a move for him. I mean, we're talking about a couple of different prospects to sign from Ajax in the defensive positions. There's Jurrien Timber and there's Martinez. Now, we would be interested in both of them. Ten Hag's understood to be interested in both of them because he has that history, that working relationship with them. They're both a good young age. 24, Martinez is 24, Jurrien Timber's 20. They're both good prospects. So I think the most exciting, the player that we would want to get the most, in my opinion, would be Jurrien Timber, because he already seems quality and he's only 20 and he's also versatile and he's quick and athletic and all the rest of it. He's definitely a good player at 20 years of age, and he probably would be able to progress and adapt to the Premier League reasonably because of his age and everything. Like he in a couple of years' time, he could be a Don, is what I'm saying. So he would be a fantastic signing, but can United get that over the line, considering we can't necessarily guarantee him regular first-team football? I mean, in my opinion, we should be guaranteeing him regular first-team football, really. I don't see that as being an issue. If that's what Louis van Gaal has said, like, don't go to United because you won't get regular game time. Well, is that even the case? I mean, Maguire's shit, guys. Maguire's absolutely horse-ass. If he comes in, surely he could maybe be given the opportunities there, or even in the right-back position. Wan-Bissaka can't go forward. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying he's only 20, but maybe he's not quite ready yet. But sooner or later, with a bit of adaptation period in the Premier League, he would probably be an absolute boss for us. Certainly better than that Slabby Maguire, Mel. At least he's got some pace about him, etc. Slabby Maguire is slow as a lunchbox. He just sits there, and it's just... Anyway, I've just had enough of seeing Maguire on the side. Just quickly on Maguire, actually. Look, I talked about it briefly yesterday. It's just bullshit, isn't it? But look, there were some reports. I've got a hair in my eye. There were some reports coming out, and there are some reports coming out in regards to Manchester United rejecting a sensational request from Barcelona for England defender Maguire to be included in any deal to sign midfielder Frankie de Jong. Please say it's so in regards to including him in a deal. I mean, this is not true, guys. It's just BS. I don't think that they'd want him, and even if they did want him, like, how much are they prepared to shave off a Frankie de Jong deal to get Maguire in anyway? Like 20 mil? No, it's not. I don't think they're really. It's like, wouldn't we have to pay them more money in order to get Maguire? The reason Man United rejected it is because instead of asking for 65 million and add-ons for Frankie, they asked for 90 million and Harry Maguire. That's basically what it is. Hey, by the way, you've got a shit show defender there. We'll take him off your hands if you pay us. You know what I mean? No, I don't. Listen, this is just a BS story. For a start, why would United reject an offer for Maguire if it was a genuine offer? He's such a bang average player who's on big money. He's a bit of a drain on us at the moment. It'd be nice and it'd be a relief to get rid of him in all fairness, even for 30 mil. Cut your losses. But it's just not true. It's just not true. Exactly. He's still on his honeymoon. Bollocks, no chances, Clark Pigger. Exactly. It's just BS, mate. It's absolutely BS. CZ Bam says, in a properly working world, a Timber or Martinez wouldn't have to worry about playing time. They're both good enough to displace Slabby in a short amount of time. Wow. Well, okay, I'm with you on that one, really, because I think that, yeah, if they actually come in and are given chances and are playing in a Ten Hag system as well, where we're maybe playing higher up, and so therefore having a bit more pace at the back just suits us anyway. So they get chances, and if they play well, if they do well, then yeah, Harry Maguire, it's go time. See you later on time. I mean, I'm at that stage already with Harry Maguire, honestly. I feel like this guy is not good enough for United. I know a lot of people think he's good, and I still think he's a decent player. You know, he's decent on the ball, he's decent in the air, he's got some redeeming features about him. I just don't think he's a great leader. I think he crumbles under pressure. I think he's too error prone. He's too slow. He turns like a truck, and his head's massive. His head's fucking massive. No. That's not a bad thing necessarily for a defender. I just said he has got a large slab. But anyway, all roads point to him not being good enough for United. Ten Hag, I don't think would really want to play with the guy too much either because of his lack of pace, and stylistically it's not very good for what he's looking for. Harry Maguire would just be a hindrance at the back, I think. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how Ten Hag's going to play with this United side, but I think he would be looking to play with somebody who's not got, you know, the pace of an arthritic fucking snail. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's definitely slow, this guy. And for a Ten Hag system, maybe not the best when balls are coming in behind you, you're playing a high line, etc. I don't know if it really makes a lot of sense. It depends how he's going to set United up, though. There is different horses for different courses, of course. Maybe as a good sort of low block defender, I think Maguire could be decent. If he was playing for Stoke City, or if he was playing for Daichi's Burnley, or something like that, he'd probably be pretty decent for them. I could see him doing a good job for them. But when it comes to like an actual, you know, actual quality playing out from the back type of defender who, you know, can sit on the halfway line for most of the time as well, yeah, no, don't think so. Don't think he's a good enough player. Don't think he's quick enough. Don't think he's got the assets. Yeah, he's got a head like a slab, says Fire Up. He's a decent player back at Leicester, says Amy Evans. Precisely for the right team. If he was playing at Leicester, or, you know, there's talks of, you know, who knows, Newcastle United, I don't think they'd even want him now. They've just got Botman right. He's not that good of a player. If he was, there would be offers on the table for him this summer for like 30 mil, 40 mil. He may well be an England international, and he may well be a Man United captain, but that's got to stop. Just quickly on Maguire, I mean, that's got to stop, guys. The captaincy has to go to somebody else. Surely we'll find that out very soon. There'll be a press conference, I'm sure, pre-season. Sometime it's got to be addressed, doesn't it? It'll be one of the first questions asked to Ten Hag as soon as there is some sort of a presser. You know, is Maguire going to be your captain for pre-season? Are you sticking with him for the armband, or is it going to somebody else? I mean, maybe he'll assess over the pre-season and decide for the start of the Premier League who is going to be the proper club captain. But we do have to address that. Ten Hag has to get that sorted out immediately. And I'm sorry to say, if he just comes in and keeps the armband on Harry Maguire, then it's already a really bad start for him at United. He's got to get it gone and get it on somebody else, I think. Cristiano Ronaldo's the one, isn't he? But anyway, that's interesting, seriously. He says we should get a deal in place for January for Timber after the World Cup. That's pretty interesting. 89th like. Thank you, sub to Flying Pig. Thank you for hitting the like button, guys. Do hit the like. We're nearly at 100 likes. Let's have a cheeky little bacon brigade. Like spike. That's all we ask. Drop a thumbs up and get your opinions in. Nice one. Berber says Slabby is Everton / Southampton standards. I agree with that. Yeah, I think he's basically just mid-table. He is. He's pretty mid-table standard. I agree with that. He's a good player, but there's just nothing really separating him from the likes of, I don't know, fucking Robert Hoof or something. You know, he's a pretty good player, but he's a bit bang average. Hey, Caesar Bam says, any truth for the reports of the rift in the dressing room over Ronaldo protesting Maguire as captain? Nah, I don't think so, bud. I think that's all BS, to be fair. But, I mean, I would expect that if I was Ronaldo, I would be protesting Maguire as captain. So you never know. There could be some basis to it. There's no smoke without fire. Ryan, thank you for your super chat, bud. Ryan with a $2 Aussie super chat from down under, bro. Thank you so much for getting in here. He says, if Raf signs for Arsenal, are they a worry? Okay, yes and no. Yes and no. I mean, I think that, yeah, Rafinha would be a great signing for them, to be fair. There's also talks of them signing Lisandro Martinez. They've already signed that Vieira and also Gabriel Jesus. You know, they are making waves. They're looking to bring players in. There's also reports that they still could be interested in even players like Tielemans, Ruben Neves. Look, they're obviously going for it, aren't they? They spent 150 million last summer as well, and they were the team that spent the most outlay last summer. They may well be the team that does it again this year. You know, the way things are shaping up. I mean, there's some reports of 60, 70 million for Rafinha. I don't think they're going to have to pay that much for him, but you know, there are some reports that they're going to spend big money again this summer. So they're going for it. They're investing in this side. They're supporting Mikel Arteta. They're doing everything they can to try and set Arsenal up this summer and this season to be as good as they can at the start of the season. Fair play to them. That's all I can say. They're actually doing it. United, on the other hand, we're fannying around and we haven't signed anybody. But to answer your question, I mean, yeah, it depends, doesn't it? Transfer windows can make or break a team. If you get the right player in the right position, somebody to come in and just do the job and plug the problem area and sort your team out, then it can make a massive difference. These signings can be huge for Arsenal. I mean, I don't think Jesus is all that great, to be honest. I think he's overhyped. I think if you look at his 8 goals that he scored last season, the fact Pep's quite happy to discard him and get somebody else in tells you a story. He's a good player, but he's not a great player. And then in regards to Vieira, I mean, he's a bit more of an unknown entity for us. Some people are saying he's going to be great. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind he's not going to be the next fucking Patrick Vieira for them. So I don't think, but he who knows, he could be a very good player for them. And then in regards to the other players they sign, if they get Martinez, I mean, he's a player we're coveting. We're looking at what Ten Hag's worked with. Ten Hag's got an understanding and a relationship with, and would probably want a United if we actually had the bottle to sign him. So, yeah, I can't pretend and say that it's anything other than a gas situation if Arsenal do get Raf and if they strengthen like the way they have been. Thank you guys for subscribing. We got Ryan who's hit the subscribe, the Disablist 82, Buvly Jubbly as well. Thank you guys for hitting that subscribe button, legends. Nice one. If you're new, do what they've done and drop the old subscribe. We're on here every day giving you the latest United updates in a no BS way. We've got a great community here, so get yourself involved. And also drop a like to help us compete with the clickbait merchants and also the corporation channels. Nice one. Right, let's have a little look at the next piece of information that I want to look at here, folks. So, yeah, the Maguire situation. Yeah, we've got... That's just bullshit story. In my dreams, we could sell him. If Barca wanted him, they can have him for nothing as far as I'm concerned. That's how bad I view him. We may have paid 80 mil for him, but it's a cut your losses situation as far as I'm concerned. I mean, we should have a little bit more bottle about us than that anyway, and we could just take it on the chin rather than have this ego of, oh no, we can't be seen to be losing loads of money. Just do it. Arsenal did it with Aubameyang. They just terminated the contract. He's on $350k a week, draining the resources out the club. Doesn't want to play for them. Fucking get him gone. That's what they did. That's what Man United need to do as well. We need to get rid of these players who are under par, who are not quite up to standard. I'm not saying terminate Maguire's deal. I'm just saying let's try and sell the guy. Now Ten Hag's got in for pre-season and they're around Carrington and they're going to be working with the players. You'll probably see 1 or 2 more players leave the football club. I don't think Maguire's going to be sold this summer, guys. It's wishful thinking. But we probably will sell a few more players like Bailly, and then he'll also assess other players. Like we understand there's an offer from Fulham for Andreas Pereira. Well, maybe Ten Hag will I mean, we'll definitely sell Andreas Pereira. I think if there's a good offer, if there's a good offer and he actually agrees to going, then I think we would sell him. But I'm just saying, I think everybody is going to get given a little bit of a chance by Ten Hag in pre-season, and certainly in training, certainly on tour, give a few chances to some players, and then you'll see him go, you know what, this guy, don't like his attitude, this guy doesn't train well enough, doesn't play to, he's not intense enough, etc., whatever that may be. He's not the right guy I want stylistically, so he might move them on. That's sort of what I think is going to happen. So, yeah, you hopefully will see Man United get rid of some players in this window as well, because we've had a pathetic window from that point of view as well. Incomings have been pathetic. We haven't got any deals signed up, but also getting rid of the dead weight, getting rid of the guff has also been a complete failure so far. We have seen players leave on a free transfer, but I'm talking about getting rid of the shite players who are on big money, who are just hangers-on and lingerers. That's what I'm saying. We need to get rid of these guys, but we haven't done that yet. So let's hope that maybe come the end of the window, we see the likes of Phil Jones, Eric Bailly, some of these players who are just sort of surplus to requirements actually disposed of. No disrespect to them, but they're shite. Hey, the boss, thank you so much for the £5 super chat, my son. Oh, cheers, dude. He says, afternoon, sir. Great content from a Liverpool fan. Get out. Just kidding, man. Mate, thank you so much for that, dude. I appreciate that. Dude, nice comment, man, especially from a Scousieri. Guys, can we get some love hearts in the live chat there for the boss? Appreciate that, dude. I appreciate that a lot. Nice one, mate. Really appreciate that, in fact. Dude, appreciate it a lot, man. Right, so hopefully we'll be coming back for you guys and catching up soon, but I personally don't see it this season because we are quite a long way away. Liverpool have strengthened. United, on the other hand, we haven't done anything just yet. I'm very, very worried. I'm very worried, guys. I mean, I don't know how you feel, but I feel very worried about how this season's going to go, especially if we don't do some business very, very soon. And even if we do the business very soon, I'm still worried because it's Ten Hag's first season. I mean, I don't want to think about it, but it could be an absolute shit show this season. It really could. Think about how bad the team was last season. We're all hoping Ten Hag's going to be the one to turn us around. What if he comes in and fumbles and has a stinker? I'm just saying, guys, it could be an awful season, this one. We need to set ourselves up as good as possible to make Ten Hag's job as easy as possible and actually sign some quality players already. We're getting left behind. We're actually getting further away from those top teams, the likes of City and Liverpool, who have signed players, who have strengthened, and who have spent the money. Okay, so by the way, also, do you know Ten Hag, this is a report from Samuel Luckhouse, he said Ten Hag was in 2 hours before the Man United players due in this morning as well. He's arrived for the first day of pre-season, so he's getting in there early, my friends. He went in there, he drove in at 8 a.m., couple hours in there before the players, getting in there early, my son. So Ten Hag, eager to get to work here. He's got a lot of work to do as well. Amy Evans says, where do you think, thank you, Amy Evans says, where do you think we finished this season? To be honest with you, I think fifth realistically, but fourth at the best. I can't see us finishing any higher than fourth. I'm going to go for a top four of City, Liverpool, Spurs, then I want to say United, but it feels almost too optimistic. I don't know. I'm going for fifth or fourth, but I don't see any better than that. And it could be worse than that, I suppose, but I don't want to think about that either. What's going on, K-Phil Murphy? What you on about, lad? 0793 says seventh. Coulier says we'll finish sixth or seventh. Win Europa and maybe fifth, says Amy Evans. Merchant says, why can't we not just release No Bones Jones? Well, exactly. I don't understand that either. I mean, they are actually paying this guy a lot of money. I mean, they're going to have to pay the remainder of the contract to release him, essentially, right? So usually what happens is, if you want to get rid of somebody, you can basically end the contract by mutual consent, but that's not going to happen with Phil Jones because he's on big money. Or you can agree some sort of a fee to terminate the contract early. Now, it may not be the entire fee, the entirety of the remainder of the contract, but what usually happens is the player goes, nah, I'm just sat here on my contract here getting 100k a week for the next 2 years. If you want me to go, you've got to pay me the whole remainder of the contract until the end. So, but they could do that, and I think they should do that, because what's he doing? Okay, I guess he's there as a backup. He's essentially just a mascot at the moment. He doesn't play. He's not going to play regularly. It's pathetic. So I agree with you. You might as well just pay him the remainder of his contract, and then at least he's not around here anymore. But what I would look to do is try and give him to a club literally for nothing, pretty much, surely there's a football club out there that would want to take him for nothing. And even if they don't want to pay all of his wages because he is on too much money for the player he is, pay the remainder of, pay a contribution to his wages. Surely, a lower Premier League team or a Championship team or a team in a different league would be interested in taking Phil Jones for £60,000 or £70,000 a week with no transfer fee. Surely. And we could just pay a £30,000, £40,000 a week to him for the remainder of his contract. That's what we have to do now. We've got to try and get some of these guys gone. There's no good reason not to. There would be a club out there interested in Phil Jones if the wages were the right price. The reason clubs are not interested in Phil Jones is because he's priced out in the market, because his wages are massive, and he can stay at United getting these wages and earning a great living. So why would he go anywhere else? It just doesn't add up. We have to pay a percentage of his wages to go and play for somebody else, I think. But that's better than paying him all of his wages to do nothing. Yeah, that's right, AK. Get those Glazer shithouses out, mate. What a disgraceful transfer window so far, boss. Unbelievable. Right, let's get into the rest of the news then. So Samuel Luckhurst reporting that Ten Hag, went in at 8 a.m. before the players. We've got players back in there. Donny van der Beek is going to be back in it as well. He'll be like a new signing in some ways for Ten Hag because he's got that history with him as well. And maybe he'll be good enough for us. Hopefully he will be. I've got a bit of a bet with one of our mods, Jonathan Gallagher. I say he's going to have a good season, and he says he's going to have a shite season again. So we'll see. We'll see. But I think with opportunities, you may see him flourish. He might well prove not to be good enough in this league, but I think, well, we haven't really seen the best of him yet. We haven't seen anything from him yet. He needs a fair chance in the side. Hashtag free Donny, and we will see what he can do. Also, Martial is back at Carrington. So a report came out. Martial's back at Carrington. United confirm. And let's face it, with Martial, he's probably going to get opportunities this season. He's gone from being somebody that really we should just get rid of to being somebody that we should probably actually keep around, only because we're not signing players and only because we just don't have very many options there now in terms of strikers and wingers. He's somebody that can play in both positions. And so for that reason, he probably will get chances under Ten Hag. We've got a tweet here from Alex Turk today at 2 that says, Anthony Martial is back at Carrington. United confirmed this. Genuinely believes that if he wants to put in the work with Ten Hag, he could play a really key role this season. Keeping him and signing a left-footed winger is the play. That's his opinion. I just thought I'd mention it because, I do think that he could. This is a great opportunity for him to revitalise himself. Ten Hag's going to bring a new style. He's going to have certain demands from these players, like working really hard and putting in the shift and putting in the hours and just get that intensity, both in training and on the pitch, which is something maybe Martial struggled at sometimes. But if he does want to revitalise his career, if he does want to be that player we all know that he could be, because he's got the qualities, then hopefully, Ten Hag can be the guy, the catalyst to get the best out of him. I think he'll play a decent bit part for us this season. I think Tony Martial will play a backup at striker sometimes for when Ronaldo's not in. I also think he'll play quite often in the wide positions as well, because we've only got at the moment Sancho, Elanga, Rashford, Martial. There's a couple of youngsters as around the place as well, such as Facundo Pellistri and, of course, Diallo. But depending on if they're loaned out, we don't know what's going to happen there. And also depending on if we sign anybody like Anthony, that may change the situation. But right now it looks like Tony Martial is going to get plenty of game time, because he will be playing a bit part role as a backup option in a forward area and out wide. But let's just ask the live chat. Because of the situation as it is now, listen, a few months ago, I would say Tony Martial out all day long. He's had a gash season. He's on nearly 200k a week, or some reports say 200k a week this guy's being paid. A ridiculous amount of money for somebody who's pretty bang average, really, and hasn't really achieved much in the game so far. Certainly for United, he's just not really kicked on. He's not in. He should be in his prime right now, doing all sorts of amazing things, and he's just sort of meandering around. He had a bad season on loan at Sevilla, got injured a few times. He is in the doldrums. He's down and out. He needs to get himself back to being some sort of a quality player. It's possible with Ten Hag here, but let's ask the live chat. With all the situation as it is, do you keep or sell? Do you keep or sell Tony Martial this summer? If an offer comes in, 20 million, 25 million, and you get him off the books, do you do that and then go get the money elsewhere? Or do you give him a chance under Ten Hag? Keep or sell? Let's ask the live chat. I would say keep, actually, now, only because of how dire the situation is in the forward position. We've got Rashi, Martial, and Ronaldo, who could basically play up there as striker. We haven't signed anybody else in that position, so I think we need him. I think we need him at the moment. I think he's a gash player for us previously, but I'm prepared with a new coach and a new style and a new system to give him a chance under Ten Hag. That's all I'm saying, just a chance. And look, in a few months' time, we'll pretty much know our answer whether or not he's still going to continue to be that dross player that he has been for the last couple of seasons, or if he will actually maybe be in the position where he's going to fight hard, work hard, and try and impress and try and get in Ten Hag's plans. We'll see, won't we? And we'll see pretty soon, I think. But yeah, okay, Amy Evans says sell. McKay says sell. Connor says keep. DLBS says sell. Keep says Liam. Cece says keep Marcel, let him have this last chance. Henrik Kelman says sell. Lynette Giggs says keep. Yep. Keep says Dutch Christ. Martial in. We need him, unfortunately, says Dutch Christ. How you doing today? I think you're right as well. Right now, we kind of need him. Until United go out there in the transfer window and sign Anthony or sign Nkunku, until we sign a proper forward and a winger. Okay, if we actually did go and get Nkunku and Anthony, yeah, see you later on, Tony Martial. But there's a problem with Martial anyway as well. He's almost unsaleable. Again, it's the situation I was just talking about with a player like Phil Jones. You'd probably have to pay a club a percentage of his wages to go and play for them. Who's queuing up to pay 200k a week to Martial at the moment on the back of the season he's just had? Nobody. So I would keep him as well. Berber says keep because of how we are so slow doing deals and won't replace him. Exactly. Until there's like actual players coming in to replace those positions, to sort those positions out, we'd be foolish to let him go out the club, I think. Hey, we got 300 legends in the live chat, guys. Can we get 300 likes? Drop a cheeky little like if you haven't done. If you're just getting in, have your say, have a vote in the chat. We love to hear from you guys, so do get your opinions in. Dennis Johnson says keep. Martial's better than Rashford, says Eva Novica. Hey, fair play. Well, certainly if you look at the last season, Rashford, it's pathetic. Before that, I would say I'd probably rather go with Rashford because of he's a couple of years younger and his progression was going really, really well up until about 16 months ago. And then it's gone absolutely shite and fallen off a cliff. Martial has been consistently quite bad for a couple of seasons now. There was a few seasons where he was really quite good for us though. And we all thought, oh yeah, this guy's going to go on and do really, really good things. I mean, he's too inconsistent to rely on. But as a bit part player, as a squad player, I think he could be good. And also, let's face it, he's not a striker. Like, he was pushed there by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because maybe he thought he could do the job. But clearly, I think Ole was wrong on that one. Don't think he has that natural ability. It's just a natural thing you have that you can't just learn overnight. Maybe with a long time doing it. But, the movement, the instinct, the finishing, just those little nuances that you have from being a natural striker and playing there your whole career. He's been playing out wide and running in and taking men on and having bit of space, and it's just totally different. So I just don't think he adapted well to being a number 9. Maybe if he's actually put back into being a winger, maybe he would actually do the job for us well over on that left side. Then again, he can still play back up at striker. He can still get you goals. He's still a good option there for us, and especially if we're not going to replace. Martial's on 250k a week, not 200, says Dutch Christ. Well, there's various different reports to suggest different amounts. But I hear you, Dutch Christ. Either way, I mean, it's shite, isn't it? 200k a week's way too much. 250k a week's just an abomination if that's the case. And then, I've seen reports that say he's on 180 a week as well. Even that's a ridiculous amount of money for him to be paid. It's just too much. And also, these players sometimes have add-ons and other clauses and stuff which take it up. Alex says Martial has a shite attitude and will never make it at a top club. End of. At least Rashford seems to care. No, I used to think the same about Rashford, but I'll tell you what, this last season just gone, Rashford had the worst, I think he had the worst mentality out of everybody at the club. That's my opinion. I don't think, when I looked at him play, his body language on the pitch, his effort levels to close the opposition down, his exuberance, his confidence, everything, the body language, it was all shot. I think he was one of the least caring this season just gone. Previously, I'd totally agree with you though. Up until this season just now, I think he's always worked really hard and looked like he's working really hard. But what's going on in the last few months? He looked totally disinterested in the games. Like he just almost couldn't be asked. So I don't know. I used to agree with you. Now I don't know if Rashford has got the right mentality based on how he looked like he couldn't give a toss. He looked like he couldn't give a toss the last few months. I mean, I can't be dealing with that. At least even if you're playing shite, you've got to look like you're fucking working hard. But he didn't look like he gave a toss, to be honest. I mean, Martial's had that problem for years, okay? So Martial always has that body language. He lets his head go in games. He gets disinterested. If everything's not going his way, he's a confidence player. But Rashford always seemed to have quite a determined character. But not this season. Not this season. Exactly, Piggy. He had the worst mentality, says the net. Yeah, I don't know why. He's gone from being such a hungry young player. We talked about it previously. I don't want to say it is definitely this, but like with that all the political stuff that's going on, he is focused elsewhere as well. I know people have extracurricular activities and that's fine, but it is a coincidence. Maybe it's a coincidence, but once he started getting political, which he's doing great stuff for, love hearts in the chat for Rashford. I commend him for what he's doing and the positive impact he's having in society. But also, is it a coincidence that at the same time his football's gone to shit? I don't know, guys. I don't know. Is he an activist these days or is he a footballer? I don't know. He needs to get his head focused on Man United and get his head focused on impressing Ten Hag and getting back into it. Yeah, Berber says Rashford's more bothered about politics and being a dinner lady instead of playing for United. Wow. Fair enough. 200k a week plus add-ons, says AK. Again, he's another player who's on big money who's not living up to it. Sergio Ramos, thank you for your comment. He says, yo, Piggy, what's up? De Jong, decent transfer, bro. Hey, if we can pull it off, it'd be a great signing. He's a Champions League standard player, and we're not a Champions League standard team at the moment. So he would be a great player. Let's just get on to Frankie de Jong a little bit, because we haven't talked too much about it, have we? Because we've just been talking about all this other stuff. But let's just talk about Frankie de Jong. So the de Jong situation, we've got a bit of an update here that says that Frankie de Jong was shocked that Barcelona wanted to sell him, but he feels confident by the knowledge that MUFC want him to lead the new project under Erik ten Hag. So as we said, if he's pushed out the door, he's already got a place to go. He knows that. Ten Hag wants him. We're prepared to pay the money for him, and if Barcelona are prepared to accept it, that's as good as they're pushing him out the door, and they need the money, don't they? So we'll get him hopefully very soon. I don't think there's a doubt that he wants to come to us. And here's an update from just Samuel Luckhurst from a few hours ago that just says United and Barcelona hopeful of agreement on de Jong. That's really where it's at. So I'd love to say that it's progressed, that there's a done deal, they've reached an agreement, but as of right now, it's still a similar situation. It's still at the stage where they are still trying to thrash out the final negotiations and agree a figure. It does look like, we've got various reports. So some people say that there's an 80 million euro offer. And other reports, such as Fabrizio Romano, suggest that there's a 65 million offer with some add-ons and things like that as well. Maybe it could total 80 million euros. Maybe that's where the miscommunication is from the different sources that are reporting figures. Or it could just be the fact that, let's face it, nobody really knows. Nobody really knows, apart from the people that are in the inner circle working on this deal between Barcelona and Manchester United. And they'll obviously thrash out the deal, and we'll find out the figure at a later date. But I don't think anybody truly knows the exact figure that it's going to take for us to bring him in right now. But I would estimate, 69 million pounds is that report that we saw the other day, which is 80 million euros. I think we could get him for that. If it's less than that, then that's an amazing piece of business by United. But even 69 million seems like a reasonable amount to pay for a player of this caliber, of this standard, like such as this guy. When you think that when you think that Jesus gone to Arsenal for 42 mil and Calvin Phillips went to Man City for 42 mil, De Jong for 69 mil seems like a bloody good player, because he's an elite player playing for an elite team as well, Champions League team. He's not somebody who's playing for Leeds, who's a bit of a workhorse, but he's not ever going to get in Barcelona's side, is he? You know what I'm saying? So for 69 million, it would be a bit of a bargain. Not a bargain, sorry, but it would be a fair price. For anything less than that, I think it would be a bargain. If it turned out United paid, what Fabrizio's suggesting, 65 million euros, and then some add-ons, well, that's like 55, 60 million pounds. That would be a bargain, I think, for a player like De Jong, when you look at all the other teams in the business they're doing, spending a lot of money on big players, or not such huge players. But anyway, so United, we're hopeful of getting this deal done soon. In the coming days, we're expected to have some sort of announcement to make, probably by the 1st of July. That's the date that's been reported as a likely time that we could actually get it done, actually as a done deal situation. Maybe in the next day, 24 hours, 48 hours, we could have an agreement in place. Then things have to happen, medicals, paperwork, all that sort of stuff, agreement and finalizations of personal terms, all that sort of thing has to happen. And once that has happened, it will go through very quickly. So probably we've got a time frame of in the next 7 days, hopefully in the next 3 or 4. Let's ask the live chat, guys. When do you think Manchester United officially unveil Frankie de Jong? We've got to get this guy in before the tour, so, you know, I think it's going to be imminent. He's pretty much imminent. You know, I don't like to use that word because it insinuates that it's 100% done. This still isn't 100% done. There's still a problem there here and there, and there's still some ways it could fall down on. So it's not imminent, but it is almost imminent, guys. You know what I mean? It's basically imminent. William Pittman says, you need someone big and physical at CDM. You won't control the ball even with de Jong. Why won't we? He's a past master. I mean, I feel you. If you look at sometimes, you know, the good balance in midfield, you do want somebody who's more defensive than somebody who's more of a passer, somebody more creative. But I think you really look at our fundamental issues at the moment, and we've got a couple of players in there who are okay defensively, or supposed to be okay defensively anyway. People like Fred, people like McTominay. But the problem with that is, and Matic and stuff, but the problem with that is that McTominay and Fred can't pass. They're not technically good enough. If you get players who are technically good enough, who can run the show in midfield, you'll see United defending better and you'll see us attacking better because we'll be able to do something with the ball. We'll play out from the back, we'll create, and we'll also give the ball away less. I think it's important to get ballers in the midfield now. I'm not even bothered about physical players anymore. I just want technical players at United now. I want proper ballers. I want us to go down the, you know, the sort of the technical route now. But I feel good balance is important. If there was an opportunity to sign a player like a Sangare or something like that, then we could possibly do that. But I think maybe Ten Hag's looking to bring about a super technical midfield here at United. JA prefers Neves over de Jong. Fair play. Yeah, well, I can understand it. He's got the Premier League experience, but de Jong is a little bit further ahead. He's a little bit higher standard, I think. He's played at a higher level so far. You know, I'd rather him. But Neves, I don't know. In some ways, I'd rather Neves. In some ways, I really would, especially if he actually wants to come and play. Superstar says, exactly, Pig, having someone who can play a simple passing midfield will help out our defence. Yeah, I'm not saying that we want players in the midfield who can't defend. I'm not saying that at all. I just think if you look at players like de Jong and Neves, we're talking about those two in particular here just a moment ago. Well, actually, they're both players who you wouldn't say are the most physically gifted or the best defensively, but they can both defend. Like, people say de Jong can't defend. I mean, de Jong can defend. He's just not a physical player, but he will get stuck in and he'll get a challenge in and he'll play out from the back and he'll win the ball back and he'll get you going. He's not going to be considered a Kante type player or something like that, though. He's more of a all-round, great sort of midfielder who is a controller, a passer. He's a passer, isn't he? If you had to describe de Jong, you describe him as a passer, but he can still play it around. I mean, if you look at some of the good teams that United have had over the years, people like Paul Scholes, Michael Carrick, doing things like this, I don't think anybody would say about Carrick or Paul Scholes that they're defensive beasts. Certainly not. I mean, Scholes used to flail in with those crazy slide tackles and almost fucking kill people. Like people, those two were not the most skilled defensively, but they were past masters. They were able to tick the midfield over. I think we need to get back to that. That's why then again, on the other hand of it, you've got Roy Keane, somebody who is a destroyer. Somebody who's more box to box, somebody who is a destroyer and a ball winner and that kind of stuff. So look, there's more ways than one to skin a cat, isn't there, mate? So we'll just have to see how Ten Hag wants to do it, and we'll have to believe in what he's doing and give him the time to make it work. But look, so in addition to the Frankie de Jong deal as well, this is from Fabrizio Romano via Court Offside. It just says that in addition to Frankie de Jong, United are working on a new centre-back, a new full-back, a new midfielder, and the striker situation, which may depend on the evolutions on the Antony deal. So a lot of different players, a lot of different positions. I don't really think that that's going to happen. I mean, that's what we should do. If come the end of the window we've signed 5 players in all those positions, I think we'll be all buzzing. But I don't think that is going to happen. I think we're going to settle on 3. I think there's going to be 3 players and that's it. And then we'll promote the youth. I think it will be Antony. I think it will be de Jong. And I think it will be Eriksen. And I think we'll have a shit defence. That's what I think, guys. What do you think? Let's ask the live chat. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully we do sign a defender like Timber or something like that. But let's ask the live chat. How many players do you think Man United signed this summer? Have your say in the chat. I'm going for 3. I'm going for Antony, Eriksen, and de Jong. And those are good additions, but it doesn't help our defence. 0 Degrees says you need to set up FIFA, kid. Yes, indeed. I got FIFA stream coming at 4:30 on the gaming channel. Absolutely. Come and join us, guys. We'll be on there rocking and rolling in about 15 minutes' time. I'll get the link up for you in a bit at the end of the show. Jeanette Pugh says 4. Merchant says 4. Safaki says 3 tops. Dutch Cross says 3 or 4. Henrik Kjellman says 3. Chris Koo says 3 or 4. Ivan Ovika says 3. Berber says 3. Signings then promote youth. Keep gash players like Martial to make up the numbers. Yeah, good shout. Yeah, I can see that happening. So I think we'll sign a few players and then we'll get a couple of the youngsters in through. This is what Ten Hag does. He promotes the youth players and develops the youth. So I think he will do that. Vutinator says 4. Jordan says on a shit defense. Chrissy J, what's going on? He says Carrick is classic example of being a non-destructive CDM, but he was still world-class, so underrated. Exactly. They can still tackle. They can still get in and, it's not like if a challenge comes, if a player's trying to run past them, they're not going to try and stop them. They're still going to try and do that. It's just not their specialty. They're not great at it maybe, but they are great at other things like playing out from the back. Carrick is a great playmaker, somebody who can get you going for the back, and that is important. I mean, what's the point of having 2 headless chicken? I mean, you need a balance, but imagine having 2 headless chicken destroyers there who can't pass. They might win the ball back, but what are they going to do with it once they've won it back? You have to have somebody that can do it and pass it around. 3 says 2 or 3 says Philip and Dizzy. 4 says Superstar, hopefully. 3 says Mark Oliver, De Jong, Eriksen, and not Anthony. Henrik Kelman says Eriksen, De Jong, and Timber. De Jong and Eriksen says Compost. We got Ballers says Jeanette Pugh. Eriksen, De Jong, Alvarez, and Anthony says Merchant. Nice. McFred says Jeanette Pugh. Right. Okay. So let's be Avenue. So if we have a look at the last couple bits of information I've got, guys, then we're going to have a little Q&A, and then I'm going to have to pretty much wrap this up. Crikey, it's already 50 minutes, this show. Bloody hell, mate. That's a pretty fucking cheeky time we've been on here already, man. Only 2 likes away from 150 likes, everyone. Do smash the shite out of the like button, hit the thumbs up, get this sucker to 200 likes. Okay, so just a few more bits of info, then we're going to have a bit of a Q&A, and then I'm going to have to dash, because we've got this gaming stream to do. So, oh yeah, I mentioned that, but Garnacho has come back to preseason early. He would have been entitled to a couple of weeks off, but he's come back. Great signs. One of the youth players could be given a chance, I think, under Ten Hag. Right, Brighton want to replace Mark Cucurella with Nicolas Tagliafico from Ajax as well. Apparently, at the moment, that's what's being talked about between the clubs. So, interesting one. Another Ajax player may be leaving. This could have another knock-on effect with United. As we've said, Ajax are a selling club, and if the price is right, they will sell the players. But I don't think they want to sell their whole damn team. So we have to act quickly, guys. We are going to be maybe in the position where we will not be able to convince them to sell us players. They don't want to have to sign a whole new team. So, we've got to act quickly. MUFC, we've got also an update here as well via Fabrizio Romano that just says United are in discussions with Ajax over, things like Martinez and Anthony and Timber, but still no bids. So there's discussions, and there's always been discussions, but, it's just not really that interesting. It's just discussions. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for the day's news, guys. We've got the players coming back. Also, that's it, basically, guys. So let's have a look at the news. So I'll just go through it very quickly. So, Garnacho would have been entitled to 3 weeks off, but he's come back early. There's some bullshit reports that Maguire was wanted to be included in some sort of Part X deal with Barcelona for Frankie. It's just bullshit, but there's a story anyway. McLaren and Ten Hag pictured arriving at Carrington this morning. Players, and some of the players arriving at Carrington this morning, getting back to work. No offer from Man United for Lissandro Martinez, Jurriën Timber, or Anthony as of yet. Working on Frankie de Jong. Donny van der Beek, absolutely loving it. De Jong to Barcelona. Barcelona and United hopeful of an agreement on de Jong. And Frankie shocked that Barca want to sell him, but happy to go to Ten Hag. That's the latest news, folks. Let's get into the chat for a few minutes. Have your say. Let's have a Q&A. Get your thoughts and opinions in. Now's the time. Thanks for listening to me waffle on. And we'll get into the chat now, see what you legends got to say for yourselves. Do get your thoughts and opinions in about anything we've discussed. Have your say. Thank you, Henrik Kierman. Love you too, bud. Jonathan Gallagher says, casual MA, pre-example of a keyboard warrior. Oh, I've been missing it, but thank you, moderators, for doing your bizzo. Dabo says, is De Jong a United player yet? Not yet, Dabo. No. Nothing done yet. Still not done and dusted. Still waiting for the deal to be agreed between the two clubs. Once it is, then hopefully it would happen pretty quickly. So we're expecting, I think it's going to be around about the 1st of July, personally, that we'll pretty much get it announced by the club. But we'll have to wait and see. Ollie created a culture of losers and backed people that wasn't informed. Now players don't want to come. Sad times. We've got a big way to rebuild this club and it isn't happening under Glazers. Hashtag Glazers out. Says Chrissy J. Bit harsh, mate. Bit harsh to say Ollie created a culture of losers. I don't know if it's all solely down to Ollie. I would say that overall the Glazers have been the biggest issue here. I mean, I don't think necessarily Ollie's created the culture of losers. But hey, look, fair enough. He definitely did allow players to play when they were mediocre and should have been dropped. So maybe you're right. He did set a level of mediocrity by allowing players like Harry Maguire and Lindelof to start week to week, or players like McFred to start week to week. So you are right about that in a way. I suppose you're right in some ways. But I don't think it's just Ollie. It's also a lot of, right down from the top of the club to the bottom. A lot of the reasons why we've sort of dropped standards. It seems like we've just dropped standards at United over every single place in the pitch. CZ Bam says, Pig, FDJ has the best dribbling stats of all top ball playing midfielders. I think his dribbling ability to get out of tight situations will surprise some fans. Brilliant, CZ Bam. Yeah, well, I'd love to hear things like that, mate. Great stats, great dribbling stats. That's interesting, yeah. Well, he certainly runs the Netherlands midfield. I mean, I don't watch much of Barca, but I've watched a couple of the Netherlands games recently, and he's done, he looks like a fantastic ball-playing midfielder, mate. That's the key words here. Henrik says, always a super show. Keep up my enthusiasm, please. Oh, thank you very much, bro. Hey, Nas786, welcome in, dude. Hope you're good today. Matty Braga says, I really hope this season we challenge for all titles and not just top 4. Winning trophies will breed a winning mentality for next season to build upon. Absolutely, yes, that's it. Breed confidence, winning. We need to set a high standard at United. That's where Ollie, I think Chrissy J's right about, in the sense that Ollie failed with the standard setting, because you can't accept mediocrity. That's why Ten Hag has to come in and strip that captaincy off Maguire. Things like that. You've got to make key decisions. Set a standard. Give Ronaldo the armband. What a standard that sets. The greatest player of all time. He's your captain. He's the guy to aspire to. Look up to him, guys. That's the standard you should be setting. Not Harry Maguire. So things like that, that's where Ollie failed big time. And that's where we need to do better. Maguire's on honeymoon, says AK. Yeah. Jamie says, Pig, what clubs do you see United competing against next season? As of right now, our club's signing about 5 new players. Well, we're competing for the 4th place. Let's be realistic. We're not going to do better than that. We're competing for 4th place, mate. No need new players. We are strong, says Angfari Kayor. We've got some good players, but we need in my opinion, the midfield needs addressing, mate, big time at the very least. But really, the defence also. Yeah, even 1 trophy will do, says Aaron Thrax. The rebuild will be around Frankie. I expect a lot of youth to come through. Ahmad, Garnacho, Palistri, Hannibal. Very good point, Andreas Suteru as well. Yeah, Ten Hag will do that. Give opportunities to these youngsters and blood the youth and give them opportunity. Arsenal set to win the Premier League. Yeah, right. To be fair, Jamie Todd, even with the window they're having, I don't think we're worried about them winning the league anytime soon. Lord Maguire ain't giving up the armband easy. It's not up to him, though, is it? Ten Hag needs to lay the smackdown on him. He needs to give him the old double fingers, mate. Kick him in the stomach, hit that stone cold stunner, and then just go off with that music playing. You know what I mean? And tell him how it is. Lay the smackdown on him. That's what he needs to do. I'm sorry, it's not that hard, is it? This is how the conversation goes. Harry, you're a good player. I can't, obviously he wouldn't say this, but he can't sell him at the moment. So he'd be like, you're a good player. We want you in the squad. However, I want to choose a different captain. I've come in. I see this vision for the club. That's it. It's not hard, is it? What's he going to do? What's he going to say? If Maguire doesn't like it, he can lump it. If he's prepared to fight and maybe play in the team without an armband and show maybe that would actually do better for him. Thank you, Doja the Dog, for subscribing, and Angfoy Kyle for hitting that subscribe button as well, you legends. Nas786, I've actually already just done another rundown, so I'm not going to do another one. But you can just check out the show from the start, though, if you want. But I'm actually going to wrap this video up right now because I've got to go, guys. We've got a FIFA stream on in literally 9 minutes, guys, on the gaming channel. So everybody, that's the end of the news show today. We'll be back on later with the latest updates. But come and join us for a 4:30 p.m. show over on the gaming channel. I'm going to put the link in the chat here. Everyone, please do drop a thumbs up on this video before you go. Smash that like. Let's get this to 200. Hit the subscribe if you're new around here as well. We're on it every day. Click the bell icon with your finger. Click the bell icon so you get notified with anything, when we post and go live, which is every day, and do all that good stuff. Oh, Mikhail, I missed your question. Sorry, bud. I missed a lot of comments, I think. I'm going to have to wrap it up, bud. But Mikhail, I can't see it. Sorry, bud. Where is it? Oh, Mikhail Kramer. Oh, no. Sorry, bud. I can't see it, bud. I can't see it. Oh, there it is. Do you think it seems LVG is worried if Ten Hag succeeds, it would be a poor reflection of him? No. I don't, to be fair. Louis achieved a lot in the game. You don't need to worry about Ten Hag, just being honest. Anyway, right. Catch you next time, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, there is a stream today. It's right here. Sub 2, there's the FIFA stream. It's in the live chat. Let's go with this. And let's go with this. To be fair, I think all the managers have been vindicated who've gone, even Jose, people like that, because I think it's proven just what a shit-run club this is from the top down. It's difficult for any manager to do a job here. Ten Hag probably be no different. Anyway, folks, hopefully we'll leave it. Hopefully he'll do better, though. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Kunway, Isidore. Says great content, passion, excellent interaction as usual. Thank you very much there, Kunway. Appreciate you, bro. And Mikhayu, LOL City, Andreas, Henrik Kielman, Chrissy J, Old Dirty Benjo, Sub 2, Jonathan, City, Kunway, Chris Koo, Jonathan, and everybody else as well. Thank you all for tuning in. That's the end of the show. FIFA stream now over on the gaming channel. Please do come and follow us over right here. Thank you so much, Dizzy Red Devil, for being a channel member legend. Thank you to all the moderators. Thank you to all the members. Thank you to all the chatters and people who get in the live chat and legends in this community who come and have your say every single day. What a bunch of legends. Berber as well. Thank you so much for getting in, bud. Feel better soon, lad. Sub to Flying Pig United, a long time Don over from Oz. And CZ Bam as well, one of the latest members of the channel. So many heroes in here. Thank you all for watching. Chuck a like before you go. Follow us on social media at Flying Pig United on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch. Check out the website, unitedflyinghigh.com, for your latest news and stuff. And yeah, see you in a bit. Come on, United, sort your bloody lives out. You're having an absolute stink show. Let's get some new players in. Let's sell some of the fucking deadweight guff as well. Let's actually do some deals now. Come on! See you in a bit, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. FIFA stream in 5 minutes' time, 10 minutes' time maybe, over on the gaming channel. So come and follow us now. It's in the live chat. I'm going to pin it to the top of live chat. See you there. Hey there, Mikey. Hey, no worries, Mikey. I feel that, my friend. Have a good one, everyone. Thanks for watching. Catch you in a little bit.